All right, guys. We have an incredible opportunity, something we probably have never had. We have the opportunity to not just put my father back into the White House, but have you seen the team that he has assembled around him that can fix so many of the things that are broken and wrong in our country? Whether it's RFK Jr. on health, bringing in Tulsi Gabbard. I saw last night Ron Paul now wants to get involved. And then, how'd you like to set Elon Musk loose on the bureaucracy? It's truly crazy times, guys. I always tell the story. Last summer, I took a couple of my boys. We went on a father-son fishing trip, and we came back, and I had my 10-year-old, my 14-year-old, and me, and we went to McDonald's. And let's be clear. When Donald Trump Jr. has sticker shock at McDonald's, it's a serious problem. Like, I get it. And I'm a reasonably spoiled individual, okay? I'm the son of a billionaire from Manhattan. I'm saying, when I grew up, I did not realize that McDonald's was a luxury item. And yet, because of the failed policies of the Biden-Harris regime, it's become a luxury. And that's the difference between my father, J.D. Vance, the team we've surrounded ourselves with. We want Americans to thrive again. Just barely surviving, like so many of us have been doing for the last 4 years, that's not acceptable in America. That's not the American dream. But it's stupid politicians, bureaucrats who are incompetent. They're the ones that have created this disaster. They're the ones that killed our jobs. They're the ones that created inflation. It's the Biden-Harris cost of living crisis that we're living through. They're the ones who created literally one of the only exports America's had for the last 50 years. You know what that one is? Your American dream. That's our only export. We send it to every country who hates our guts, and they're getting to live it, so that some bureaucrat in Washington can make a couple bucks on a consulting gig, or we can send another $250 billion to Ukraine. Yeah, I didn't think so. That's not a popular one. And yet they do it, right? You saw it 2 weeks ago, overnight. This was during the hurricane, right? We have Americans that lost their loved ones. They lost their homes. They lost businesses. FEMA has no money for them because they put up illegals in luxury hotels across America on your dime. Yeah, just so we're clear, it's not a government-funded program. It's a taxpayer-funded program. You have the privilege of that. So as they're doing that, and as Americans are suffering, they get a $750 loan. I don't know, guys. Under Bidenomics, it's not going too far. It's not going to help you with much. I mean, honestly, it's a slap in the face to anyone who's been paying taxes. Those who've never paid taxes, those who are illegally here, you get $10,000 at the border. It's disgusting. I had the privilege yesterday going back there. I've been down North Carolina twice, just seeing the damage of what was happened, meeting these incredible people. And honestly, it's actually amazing to see. I got to see the worst of Mother Nature, but the best of America, the best of humanity, as they all came together. I was there with the folks from Samaritan's Purse who are doing the job that FEMA should be doing but isn't. We were dropping off yesterday. We were dropping off clothes. It's starting to get cold down there. 2 weeks ago when I was there, we were dropping off generators and heating equipment for people who had none of those things. And you got to see so much of what real America was about. And I can assure you, while many have lost everything, they are fully aware just how much their government can't stand them at this point. So guys, it's very simple. It does not have to be this way, right? We went from a time of prosperity to a time of poverty. We went from a time of peace to a time of war. Each and every day we see ourselves inching closer to the brink of World War III. We keep funding those regimes, like I said, as the hurricane was going. They had no money for the people who were actually suffering, actual Americans, but they could pass an overnight resolution to send another $450 million to Ukraine, $175 million to Lebanon. Yesterday, I believe it was, maybe it was the day before. I don't want to get fact-checked. They'll cancel me. They'll throw me in the gulags. They had another $450 million for Ukraine. Think about that. Like, on the eve of an election, in an issue that is so not popular, when they've shown they're not willing to take care of their own citizens, they can, out of thin air, pull off another, $500 million. What's a couple $500 million, right? You send your friend $601 in Venmo, they're going to audit you. But when the Pentagon loses $250 billion, $250 billion, just lost it. What's a couple $100 billion between friends, right? So we have an incredible opportunity to fix all that, but we cannot do it by ourselves. We cannot do it alone. We cannot do it without each and every one of you participating. Okay, and that's not just voting for my father. That's voting straight Republican ticket. Okay? We need congressmen that are going to support my father. We need Kerry Lake in Arizona in the Senate. But we got to go further than that, guys. We need Republican state legislatures. We need Republican school board leaders so we can stop the indoctrination of our children. At this point, we need Republican, dog catchers. Because who knows what they're going to do with those dogs? We've been seeing the videos. I don't know. They're like, no, Don, how dare you say that was a dog? It's like, it's a dog, it's a cat, it's something with 4 legs and really small. I can tell you what it's not. It's not a ribeye. It's not something any of you have ever barbecued before, I can assure you that. So we'll let the fact checkers do their thing because they'll do it anyway. But you see that, right? You see the fake news, you see the lies, you see the nonsense. Each and every day, whatever it is. You saw it yesterday. Donald Trump said they should put Liz Cheney before a firing squad. I was like, what? Did you listen to what he said? He goes, it's amazing all the people that are so apt, so ready, willing, and able to send your kids or yourselves off to war are never the ones that actually do it themselves. So he said, all of a sudden, when you're at war and you're standing there with a rifle and you got 9 others pointing at you, all of a sudden, maybe you wouldn't be such a warmonger. When you watch the transcript, you understand that whatever disdain you have for the media, it is not enough. However bad, am I right? However bad you think they are, it's not at hey, it's slanted a little bit to the other side. It's at this point full-on propaganda. And again, you have the power to change all of that. You have the power to break down some of that bureaucracy. You have the power to turn off that and start going to all of the other alternative forms of media that are springing up because they have not acted in good faith. But again, you can't do it alone. My father by himself or my father with JD, even the team he's put around him, they've shown they can cancel the most powerful man in the world. They can shut him off. They'll mince his words. They'll cut off his communications. They'll try to impeach him twice. They'll try to jail him. They'll try to take away his businesses. They'll try to bankrupt him. And when all of that doesn't work, you create enough rhetoric. You lie, right? Someone's a Nazi and a fascist. You say that enough. I'm like, I don't know. Doesn't seem like it. We did have 4 years under President Trump, and we had an incredible economy. We had real wage growth for the lowest income earners. We were signing peace deals in the Middle East. We had a secure border. We're slowing down the fentanyl and drugs that are poisoning and killing all of our children. Doesn't seem like it was that unreasonable. No, but guys, the media will tell you Kamala Harris is going to be an agent of change. I'm like, I'm not buying it. You know why? Well, no, she's changed things for sure, but she's changed everything for the worse. We've seen that because we had 4 years under Trump and we had all those successes. And then It was like flipping a switch. Disaster. Honestly, that was the thing that was shocking to me. The most shocking was how quickly they could destroy our country, how quickly they could break up all the policies that were so effective so they can push their woke garbage on you. But again, without all of you guys, without the help in the Senate, I don't want to win the presidency if we don't have a good Senate, we don't have good House candidates, and we don't have it all the way downstream. I've been there. I get it. You know, I didn't get quite what they did to my father, but I did 50 hours of congressional testimony for treason. That's a crime punishable by death. Minor details at this point. It's like an average Tuesday for my family. And I understand that, and I apologize, that I am not the upstanding citizen that Hunter Biden is, but now I know. Just ask CNN. But I have a feeling, guys, if that was my laptop, it'd be a little different. But just like we don't have the mainstream media and we don't have big tech doing our artificial boosting or the suppression of the other side like they do to all of us, you know, they also have 52 intelligence agents that say, it was definitely Russian disinformation. I'm like, I don't know. You know how I knew it wasn't Russian disinformation? Because Hunter Biden himself didn't come out and say it was wrong or it was off, right? Like, if that's my laptop and it's not me, I'm saying, like, hey, guys, not me. But they knew. And they had him doing that bidding. And then you see the ads on TV, you know, 30, 50, whatever it is, intelligence agents really support Kamala Harris. I'm like, you mean the same guys that lied to the American people? The people that talk about fascism, the people that talk about misinformation, they're the ones acting like actual fascists. They're the ones spreading misinformation. So for the next 3 days and change, guys, I just ask you to have the same fight you saw in my father, whether it was through his presidency, whether it's all the stuff they put him through after, whether it was on July 13th when they tried to literally kill him, when he got shot in the face and he came back defiant. Yeah, these days everyone's a tough guy on a keyboard, right? It's a little different when you actually get shot in the face, and that shows your true character. And that spirit I saw from him that day was the most proud I'd ever been of him. That spirit, that fight, that resolve, that's what kept us out of wars. That's what kept the dictators in check. That's what allowed us to make great trade deals so Americans actually benefit from policy for a change. That's what we need, and we need all of you guys to have that for the next couple days. I know a lot of you have early voted. Raise your hands if you've early voted. All right. So now you have some free time. No. If I get to travel the country and do like 7 of these a day for the last 3 months, you guys can spend 3 days and drive your friends to the polls. You call your friends in Arizona, make sure they're voting straight ticket. Explain the other ballot initiatives to them if they don't know. Then you call your friends in the other swing states and all of the other states, because I want to make sure this is a blowout. We need to make sure it's too big to rig. So do it. Call 10, 15, 20, 30, 1,000 people a day. Make sure they're in there. You guys have to function like basically at this point like you're the third monkey in line for the ark and it's starting to rain. Right? Because that's what it is, guys. When people are like, well, what's on the table? I'm like, everything. You know how I know? Because the other side says it. It's not just the Second Amendment they're going after. Right? You heard Hillary Clinton and John Kerry and all of them talking about, that pesky First Amendment. We can't let them have that. We got to maintain regulations to prevent the dissemination of misinformation. I'm like, so the people who have been the biggest liars, the biggest hoaxers, they want to be the arbiters of truth. That's not going to work out well. We've seen where this is going. As I said a little bit ago, we've had 4 years under Trump, and we've had 4 years under the Biden-Harris regime. She herself has said there's nothing she could think of that she'd do differently. Nothing. Really, like you wouldn't have done like the Afghan withdrawal differently? You wouldn't have maybe shut down the border so 100,000 Americans don't die of fentanyl poisoning every year? Human trafficking, sex trafficking, the crime from illegals, but the Democrats know. It's only a few apartment buildings in Austin and Colorado, only a few apartment buildings that were taken over by armed, merciless drug gangs. It's like, honestly, I feel like I'm the star of the Truman Show some days. It's like, I'm waiting, you know what I mean? Like, I'm waiting for the camera to pop out of my ceiling and be like, we're just kidding with you, Don. But it's actually happening. So we need you guys to be in this fight with us, and I can assure you, as long as my father has your support, he will never, ever, ever stop fighting. So Arizona, for the next couple days, you get out there, you bring your friends, you get them to vote, you tell them and explain to them what is at stake, because they're not going to get it from other sources. And if you do that, guys, we're going to win. We're going to take back our country. We're going to end the nonsense and the bureaucracy and the never-ending wars, and we're going to make America great again. So Arizona, thank you. Get out. Do your part. You guys are the best. I love you, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you, Arizona.